Good evening and welcome back to Foundry, where we have some lights. I was testing to see whether these illuminate down far enough. I did build a wall along here originally, but they don't. They do not light up down here whatsoever. It's very dark, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with lights. I was thinking maybe we could have something like dangles down from the roof and then they sit above and like sit just like sort of here, so they illuminate down there. Obviously not above that building because that's kind of too big, but I'm not really sure which way round I want to. I'm not really sure. I'm just not really sure on it, so we'll have to see. But one thing I do want to point out, in the comments of the last episode, there was I think a little bit of confusion of I didn't explain something correctly. So I said that we could do like both arms on one floor and then weld them above and so on and so forth. I think what I wasn't making clear there is that you have to attach the part and then weld the part, but you don't have to weld the part directly after. You obviously have to attach it first. You can't weld something that's not there, so obviously. But what you can do is you start with the torso, because you have to start with the torso, and then you could attach the arm, the left arm, the right arm, the head, the left leg, the right leg, and then you can weld the left leg, the right leg, the head, the left leg. You can attach all 5 pieces and then weld all 5 pieces. You need one machine for each operation, so there'd be one to attach, one to weld. So we need 10 regardless. But you can do them in whatever order, providing you attach before you weld. So you could weld both arms, and then weld both arms, and then attach both legs, and then weld both legs. You could do that. So my idea would have been that on this floor here, we build the torso and the head, and the floor above, we put both arms, and the floor above, we put both legs, and the floor above that, we weld, have 5 machines that weld, and then paint, and then the floor above has the landing pad to ship it off to the station. And that sort of thing. But I'm not sure that's going to work. Mainly because of, well, spacing. We've squeezed a lot in here, which is fantastic, but there's actually a lot involved. So let's see here. We want to do this. We want to do this. I've dropped this down to 30 instead of 32. The conveyor belt, the assembly line, can deal with 32. This can deal with 32. However, I came down, I was looking at these here, and it's not on this one here. I was looking at the individual pieces. Let's let me create a new bot torso. We will change the belts we're using, the things we're using here, and we will add the farmer robot torso. If we go 32 for this and we scroll down, we need 1.0667 casting machines, so we need just over 1. If we come down to 30, we need exactly 1. So I'm going to bring it down to 30, so we use exactly 1 casting machine. It just makes rather than having 2 machines and one is running only 1 second in every minute, it's not worth it. So we're going to bring it down to 30. That'll be fine. What we need to do is we need 4 assemblers making the torsos, 4 making the robot parts. This needs to be done underground. We'll do that later. 1 making the machine parts, and here we need 3 making the electronic components, which means 2 making the wire coil. 1 doing this here, 3 of these here, and this is all being made for us. We're not making glass though. This does need to be made on the floor because the glass is the only part in the robot torso that uses glass is here. So yeah, we are making aluminum acid, I believe. No, we're not. We're making polymer. We are making gas. We're making iron plates, techum, and steel, like that. This is a bug in the actual mod here. Fuel efficiency. For some reason, when you make barrels, it wants you to mine the resources and process them rather than just using the plates that you add to the system. So I don't know why that's a thing. It just is, but we can ignore that, so that's fine. So we need to bring in techum as well. Ignium anyway, because we need to make the steel That's fine. We've got them all down there. So that'll come. We'll have to do the mineral rocks coming up as well because we need gravel to make glass. I did look at maybe squeezing glass into here, but it's only used on one floor. So I might not bother. I might not bother and just have it go up to the one floor and used here, and that'll be fine. So yeah, that does mean, however, we're going to need not just Techum, Xenoferrite, and steel. We're going to need 5 freight elevators going up because we also need to send up ignium and we need to send up mineral rocks. So they may have to go on the end and can't go here. I don't think it's going to work. I wanted to put them sort of like there and have them go up, but I think they have to go on the end and just come up, and then we'll figure them out from the end there. In regards to this thing here, what I'm going to do first before I build this is I'm going to build the factory in here that's making the stuff, and then figure out whether we can, one, put 2 items on the same floor, so the torso and the heads, and 2, where we need to come out 2 before we put that in. So we'll have to figure that. So let's have a look, see if I was to, for instance, add torso and heads to the same floor. So we'll try this, 30 heads. This is what we're going to need for this. Barrels we can ignore. That's one assembler making barrels, so we need barrels. I'm just going to take that there because it gets rid of all the raw ore needed. So are we also making liquid? That's coming in as well. Liquid tluxite. So we are making that. We're not making olumic acid. It's a chemical processor. We need 2 of them. So this changes up the stuff that we need. So this is everything that we would need on the one floor. So we still need that. We need 7.5 making robot parts because we now need to put the robot parts onto the heads as well here. We need CPU and we need polymer boards and things. So, okay, let me gather bits and pieces and see what we can fit in this space here. Okay, so let's start down here, work our way back, and then once we've got the layout done, we can grab it and move it forward because I don't know the spaces we require. So what I want to do is come down to here, and we basically want to have well, they need 4 inputs, so we're going to have to leave a space like this. Oop. So that's our 4 guys doing the torsos. Okay, a little too close there. Boom. We then want to have another guy on the end here doing there you go. Right. So we want iron. So if Xenoferrite came up here, I mean along here to there, then barrels came out, I mean along here like this, and then you guys fed out this way, and that's the exit belt. Okay, so we'd have inputs, and then you would be an output like that. And these guys would be outputs, so we'd have to do this. Output. Like this, okay? And then we would need 3 belts coming into the front, which is doing... no, we don't. We need 2 belts coming to the front, so we just need to have 2 belts coming here, which is the energy cells and the robot parts. Okay, so let's treat this like it's one of our other little factories, shall we? So we're going to have the lines come up the side, which means you need to move over, but that's fine. We can do that. So we're going to have Xenoferrite come up the side. We have Techum, for instance. I don't know what order they're going to be in. steel. There's our 3 belts, isn't it? That's the 3 belts that are coming up, isn't it? So we have Techum, Xenoferro, and steel, which will come up the end here. They can come up which and wherever, what way, when, how. Yep. You'll come down here. So, excuse me. We're going to need 3 guys doing this here, so they can go this way. So 3 belts going this way, 2 belts going this way. So one needs to be electronic parts, and one needs to be robot parts. Let's have a look at the robot part thing. So that's going to need, if we did both here. See, I don't know whether this is going to be possible or not, because I'm really looking at this here and thinking, yeah, the space is kind of awkward. Because we'd also need, what do we need for the heads? 3, 4, right? Yeah, 4 of them. So 4 for the heads, and the heads require, one of them requires robot parts, the other 2 aren't shared, although you do need 3 parts. So we'll see. We'll try and squeeze it in here, then maybe we could do the other part here, and then maybe we could just take it and like rotate it 90 degrees so it ends up down this side. Let's just do this one. Just concentrate on the one. Concentrate on the one. So let's go with 0. Boom, for that. And then we can come up to here. Although we could share the robot parts. That's the thing. We could share the robot part being made. So that's kind of why I want to integrate the 2 of these together. Okay, so we need 8 doom robot parts. 4 and 4. 4 and 4. 4 and 4. Hold on. Robot parts. So we want 4 robot parts. They would output and go in there. They have 4 inputs, don't they? Yeah. We're going to need input from the side as well. And then you're going to need more space here, because we also need to put in these guys for energy cells. Is that right? Yeah, energy cells. We need 3 of those. Energy cells. So they require electronic components. Which is how many electronic components? 3. So we need 3 electronic components. Which means we need 2 doom wire. Is that correct? Yes, 2 doom wire. Okay, do any of these require tech? No, and no. Okay, so that's the Techum line. Right, so we can get rid of one of these lines here. You're probably staring at the scan. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm just laying stuff out. I'm just laying stuff out because I like. So this is what we need for this part here, and then we build this little segment here, and then we can play Tetris and fit it all in. Because if we can get it into the space, it'd be grand. It'd be fantastic. Let me re-add the head back into here again. Actually, let me re-add the head back into here. Actually, and not click it again to cancel it like that. You want 4 and 2, so that's not so bad. We could do that. You 2 would go that. Okay, so that's easy enough done. That just requires 1 line of Techum. That's the stuff coming out there. That's the electronic components coming out of there. The robot parts goes up to 8, doesn't it? Yeah. We'll have to have 8 of these guys in a row somewhere. 120, 150, right? So another 30 is going somewhere else into making the energy cells as well. So you need to share that as well. Okay. Right. Okay. So let's build this over here. So we're going to have Techum come up. Here. Techum come up here. You 2 doing wire. And and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you're doing wire and wire, and you are going to do electronic components, and components. Okay. So the Tecum comes along here to that point there. The wire can come out the back of these and run down the front there like that, or the back down there I should say, and then the output from these guys can come up here. Okay. There is our wire. Okay. Sorry, there's electronic components. Done. Boom. There you go. We need glass being made. So we need to bring in the mineral rock, crush it, and then make glass. It's only 3 of each. It's only used on this floor, so that's fine. Let's look at this one as well. So let's, for instance, say the steel comes up there and the xenoferrite comes up like here somewhere. In the center, we could bring up the mineral rock. It could land here and just come up. That's fine. We do need ignium as well coming up. Ignium is here, technically. It's this line here. We could also bring that up on the end here, so that's fine. So let's grab a couple of crushers and put them in, let's say, was it 2 or 3? What do we need? We need 3. So 3 crushers that are crushing the gravel. Okay. You can't be there. Freight elevator is 3 wide. So if it's 3 wide, you actually need to be... So, freight, you'd be here. Okay, so you would be there. There is a method to my madness. Maybe there's a madness to my method, I'm not quite sure. But, yeah, you get to see the process. You get to see the process. Okay, so that'll work there. Then we want to have smelters, which I can slap right next to them, and we need 3 smelters, so 1, 2, and 3. This can share a line, not share a line. It can feed from the back like that. Okay, and then you can output there. And there is our glass line there. Okay. Yes, I'm not putting any load of stuff in yet. That's fine. I should probably do that before I confuse myself. So we want to have inputs. You want to have inputs, and then you two want to have inputs. You two want to have outputs. And then we'll put the outputs on here. Output, and output. Do the same. So you want to have, but it's 3, so we'll do 1, 2, and 3. Then out, and out. And then in, and out. There we go. There's that built, done, dusted, sorted. Awesome. Okay. Right. So there's glass going. Beautiful. Okay. Next step. We have that. Lumic acid. Xenoferrite is going to be over here somewhere. Lumic acid. How do we make a lumic acid? A lumic acid is made from lumic gas, water, and ignium powder. Ignium powder, we need 2 crushers crushing that. Do we have any more crushers? I have 1 crusher. Do I have any more? Do I hear another crusher? Is there another crusher? Do I hear another crusher? No, not sold to anybody because nobody had another crusher. Put these away. Get rid of those. Okay. Alright, that's fine. We'll deal with that for the moment. So we need 2 crushers dealing with the so there's that. So ignium powder can come, or ignium can come here, run itself along, come up. So if we brought the ignium powder up here, okay, we'd have 2 crushers. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that. Okay, it wants to be a crusher. It identifies as a crusher. Okay, so ignium powder. So the ignium would come up here. So there. And then would output on this side. No, let's not do that. Let's move this over by one. It goes there. So we'll bring that in there instead. Then output you up there. Ignium powder goes into chemical processes. We need 2 chemical processes. Do I have? I have 4 on me. These are larger than life. Turn them that way. You want to be doing lumic acid, which means you want acid water in, and then you output here the lumic ones. What I'm gonna do is copy this one, rotate it round. Let's do that. Let's rotate it around. And then when it comes to piping, we can literally just go get completely stuck because so you're the output. You're the output. Like that. That would be the acid coming out. And then the water and other bits and pieces would have to come in here. Feed into that. What was it going to do? Acid on top, water underneath. I don't know exactly where. Yeah, that one. Yeah, found it. T-junction, and then corner and corner. Okay, so that's acid and water has to come up there. And then the acid comes out here. Let's run it directly next door. Goes that way to wherever it needs to go to. Okie dokie. Cool. We can move parts around, we can move belts around, we can do all that bits pieces. Okay, so we're going to have an input and input. We're going to have an output and output. We're going to require another belt. We have input and input. I could have moved them over by one to save some space on this side. Yeah, we'll leave that. You are going to do ignium powder. Okay, so there's the lumic acid done. Right, so a liquid textile is going to come up and wants to go into a casting machine, or 1.5 casting machines, to make the wafers. Oh, this is where problems arise because we need 7.5 chemical processes. I don't have 7.5 chemical, I have 2. So the liquid textile will come up and go to the chemical processes, or casting machines I should say. I need to leave lines for steel and things to come along there, although it still could go up and above. But we could also bring these up here. because there's no reason why I couldn't run a line in between those two, which would be the exact height of these guys for doing what I'm doing here. That is assuming that this input is the correct side. Let's see here. Hold on, was that the recipe you want to do? No, I want to do 2 for wafers, then 4 for board. I have enough to do that, but still. Let's do the wafers first. What side? Yeah, it is that side. Okay, so something like that. And then you would have... actually, you should come over by one. And then the line can come down in the center of those two. I'm asking for trouble doing this, aren't I? Mixing the pipes so close together. Should probably bring it up this side. So that goes to... We also need wafers for this and the acid. So the acid's being made here. That's fine, but this needs to have wafers as well. So the wafers should probably be here. That's right, the... Yeah, how many do we need for the... 4 for that. Okay, do we have any more chemical processes? Might have to do a supply run. Yeah. What do we got here? We have another 5 casting machines. We don't have the chemical processes, but we have casting machines. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to put a cut in here, and then we're going to come back in the next episode and carry on from there. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I do hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.